it looks like I just have enough clearance to mount that here. So the easiest way to mount it will be a plate that comes flush with this in an L-shape plate mounted like this, and the back section gonna mount on the back of the pump, and like this with a 90-degree I'm gonna have like a good angle, and if I get a proper 90 then I'll be able to get the belt lined up on the pulley without it running back and forth.
Yeah. But if she calls back and she says 4 months, she's like, son of a bitch. I'm back and I'm better than ever. I've got new armor. I've upgraded my weapon. Both my strength and dex are at like 20. Prepare to die.
Allô mon homme, ça va bien?
I got my bag.
Good job.
Ooh, is that the engine?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
The bracket is tacked in place. I am happy with it actually. It lined up pretty good. Look at the pulley. I do have a clearance problem though. It clears, but it's way too tight. The reservoir is like very close to my steering column right here. So there's no way that this will be a good fit with the engine vibrating. So I'm gonna take it off. Pump's gonna be mounted there, that's fine. The tank though it's gonna need to be relocated somewhere else. And since the distance from the the actual steering pump is increased, then the hose don't fit anymore, so I'm gonna need to get custom hoses made up for this. So the fit, I still have the old ones, so I'm just gonna take the old ones to the shop and get custom one made. Today I picked up the V-belt as well, so I'm gonna be able to do some fitment test here as well with the belt. And then after that, wire everything up. I did receive some plugs as well. Some generic, it's like a kit for electric plugs, and they seem to be matching well with the pump here. So universal connector, 4-pin universal connector off Amazon. So a little bit of soldering there. So the plan is to finish up to mount the steering pump and then pull out the power harness and then hook it up to battery, try to power up the engine, and then plug in the computer, see what error message I get as well, and then pumping some fluids in the engine and transmissions component, and test everything out. A little bit of a mess right now.
C'est pas la différence entre une parodie et nous autres. C'est le 23 mai, hein? 23. Tu parles juste à ceux qui sont très compétents. Mais c'est vrai, j'ai tasqué pétitrice, ok?
So that's what it looks like with the bracket. Clearance wise, it's very close to the mount. You can see from this angle how close I get from the mount. So I'm able to fit the belt around, so that's not a problem. It's a little tight, but by spinning the pulley here, I was able to mount it. Though the factory belt is too short and I can't mount it around everything. So and then into that space right here, I just have enough space to mount the tank, the fluid tank, and it's kind of getting like very close to the steering here. So one of the options I have will be to, actually what I wanted to do is to displace the steering maybe half an inch this way by putting like a spacer on this side and bolting this, and probably like making another hole on this side, which I think will be like easy to do, and then move, probably leaving the tank there, or leave the steering as it is, take the tank and relocate it like on the mount here. Though the thing is, the way this tank is designed, it's a little inconvenient because there's an outlet here on the side. So this is plastic. It's an insert in the side of the pump here, right here. And this is not threaded, it's just press fitted with the tank being like pressed against the pump, and has like little slider brackets that comes and lock on those mounts here and keeps it in position. So to be able to connect the holes there that feeds back to the tank, that'll be a little bit of a problem, I can see, because it would have to be press fit or mounted permanently with some I would say what I would think to do is probably use GB weld and like permanently mount the hose from that section to there. But you know, when you get down that road, then I don't know, let's see, it's, you expose yourself to failure down the road, and like what do you do if it fails while you're out there on the road? I don't know. So I think the most reasonable actually, I keep thinking about it and I don't have a solution yet, just I don't know. So I need to take the pump, redo the bracket, and try to move it a little bit on the left, because I do have space in there. It's just building the bracket to mount it into that insert there. It's going to be more work, and achieving precision is going to be harder than the way I designed it right now. I made it that way because it was easy to achieve precision. So yeah, by moving it toward the engine, then I have the clearance on the side. I can fit the original tank and have it there. Don't have to move the steering, and the belt will fit. So that would kind of solve all the issues that I have with this right now. So I think the most logical way to do it is to figure out a way to mount the pump a little closer to the engine in that insert there. It will be tricky to have precision, but if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. That's where I'm at, and I think what I'm gonna do is use the bracket that I built and like just cut it off and use part of it to build what I think might work. So I'm going to try to utilize the 3 anchors, 1, 2, and 3 there. So I'm going to start with like a section that goes from that and extend all the way down, and I'm going to cut piece of the bracket that I made, just wide enough to cover those two anchors. And I actually scratched that because my idea was to actually cut this and then bend it in the press to try to mount it around there. But then if I bend it, then I'm gonna lose the distance in between those two holes, so that's not gonna work. So yeah, I think I'm still gonna cut it and use that section to travel from here and forward, and I'm gonna need to come up with something to secure on those two anchors here, and hopefully that'll bring me closer to the engine and fix my issue. A little bit more of a bend. So I can mount it exactly where I want. And I'm gonna put a gusset on this side. I just finished tack welding. It's not pretty, but it's in position. It's super hard to get the geometry right. That's where it sits right now. I have better clearance. I had to take the bracket out and undo the tacks that I made on it because the angle was not right, because I had the pump fitted without the tank, and the tank wouldn't clear the generator, so I had to take it out and re-weld it again. So a little bit of pain to install actually. But I'm happy where it sits right now. The only thing is I don't have enough clearance there with the mount, so I'm going to cut a little chunk of the mount and make sure the belt fits. If the belt fits, then we're in business. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, it's gonna be time to wire the fuel pump here. I want to recycle the connector from the stock harness. This goes in the harness. This goes to the pump, obviously. I'm gonna pull the pump out to confirm like what the pins are controlling. This one's pretty straightforward. Have the signals going to the resistor, I guess. I don't know what to call that, but to the reader, and then the power is going to the pump. So we just need to make sure that we're wiring this properly. I bought some universal connectors. They are waterproof. They have a little seal around them, and they seem to be fitting in there. So yeah, let's wire the fuel pump. So the outer pins are the fuel pump, and the middle is the signal. So I bought a bunch of adapters, and then I thought they would fit in there, but yeah, they would not fit in there. So what did I do is the pins that came with the kit actually fit with the pins that are in there. So and they slide on like pretty tight. So I was confident enough that I just wired pin at the end of wires, like that I just cut it for this, slid them on those pins, and to make sure that nothing vibrates and touch, I filled it up with glue sticks, and then from there it was easy to wire to the connectors I bought, and then so I have everything wired properly now, and it should be it should connect to the harness with no problem now. So